So it's Cup Day, which means Targa High Country is in a couple of days. Leave Thursday morning. Race car's ready to go. Fingers crossed. And it'll probably throw a rod when I start it to put it on the trailer, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So it's time to pack the service vehicle. Start with the roof rack. First job is to get the 4 jerry cans up there that we need for the fuel filling on the third day at Eildon. We need just under 40 litres for each car, so 4 jerry cans. So time to bolt on the jerry can holder and start loading it up. And here is the jerry can holder. Well, it used to go up there like that, but I actually had the roof rack off a couple of days ago to add a few brackets to it, and looks like I may have changed its shape somewhat, so some small modifications to the jerry can bracket required. Stand by. Okay, jerry can mount, take 2. Right, 4 jerry cans, all in, secure. Ow. Next thing to go on is the latest addition to the service vehicle, which is this nice 6mm LE plate, and this is for the jack. Because a lot of times we're servicing on uneven ground where the jack has trouble rolling, so this is to stop us pulling the car over on top of us, and it just slides into its new holder, like that. Install. Okay, oil next. Got a full 5 litres of engine oil, ready to go, brand new. An empty water container. There's a water tank in the car, so I don't need to fill it up, and less weight on the roof is best. Okay. Cans in there. Got a full bottle of Redline lightweight shockproof gear oil for the gearbox if required. Hopefully not required. And an empty bottle of diff oil. The old man's bringing the full one up, so this is just a packing spacer at the moment. And done. All right. Got a galvanised like toolboxy thing to put on the roof next, so that goes over on the side. Ow! That hurt. Right. So I've got these little right angle brackets with little welded captive nuts to bolt it on, and these are specially designed to be as sharp as possible to remove as much paint off my roof as possible when I'm installing it. Because I'm an idiot. Fuck. Every time. So I put that nice slider in to put the aluminium plate on, and now that runs into the brackets. So now I've got to modify those. Every time. Okay, so that's the example of why you don't wait till the night before to pack the service car. Anyway, one modified bracket with captive nut. Toolbox on roof, take 2. So that'll close the lid. I'll leave it for a mistake. Alright, toolbox is up there. Fill that up with some stuff for later. Table is the next thing. So, never having a place to put it and ending up putting stuff on the ground. So I wanted a little table. Came up with this little arrangement. A bar that screws mounted into the car. And a nice little slides over the bar. Drops down. Throw a split pin in there. And then a level ground for it. So spot, which I've just put in. So it's time to put it. Done. Next, got a couple of jack stands. I don't need these, but the old man does. So I've got the sill stands, but I got a couple of blocks of wood, clamping them together as well, which can be quite handy for various things. For instance, last year I used the corner out of that one as a replacement droop limiter on the front suspension when it fell out. Right, that's all the big ticket items on the roof. Lunchtime, and then we'll start packing the inside of the car. So next up, we've got this nice long aluminium box to put long things that won't fit anywhere else, like filler rods and stuff. Got a couple of nut sets in the back to mount it, and some foam on the inside to stop things rattling around. That just mounts up there. Okay, next up is the TIG welder, a bit of equipment that is vital and that we hope we never have to use. So there it is in its little bag, TIG welder, leads, everything. So that goes in there. Got an extension lead so we can steal some electrons from somewhere. I still haven't worked out how to get the TIG welder to run off the car. And so we don't need to lug a full-sized argon bottle around anymore. I've got this little disposable one, which is good for about 40 minutes of welding, so that should get us out of trouble if we need it. Don't forget the welding helmet. So hopefully the next time I see that is when I come home on Monday with a hangover and unpack the car. Right, this is something else that's important, but hopefully we don't need. It's just a box of some pretty serious spares. So we've got a spare alternator in there, spare water pump, spare radiator hoses, spare piston and liner. Don't laugh, we've used a liner before. And some spare engine oil line, in case we get a puncture in an oil line. So that slides in there. Alright, time to start having a look at the back. This is where all the action happens. So this is where all stuff we need to get to every service. First thing I'm going to put in is this little box I've made up for the sill stands. So these things, and they slide in like that, 4 of them, and that lives here. That with the toolbox in front of it. Yeah, so time to screw that in. So a couple of other mods that live in the car all the time is the much needed air compressor that lives in there, and there's a little tank on the other side that it's plumbed into, and that feeds an air line underneath the car so we can fill our tyres. It also feeds the airbags in the suspension. So I've turned the compressor on, get some power, and these 2 gauges are the pressure in each airbag of the suspension. So I'm going to flick these valves on, and up comes the pressure on the, and up comes the car. Neat. Neat but noisy. for some top shelf action. Cordless vacuum. Seems a bit excessive, but it is amazing the amount of stones and shit you drag into the car during the day, so it's nice to be able to get it clean at the end of each day. That bad boy lives up there, and we've got some just electrical cables to connect to the data logger and the screen if I need to do any programming. Measurement stuff, we've got carby synchronizer, verniers, timing light, squares, mirrors, inspection camera, little USB inspection camera. Cleaners, just screen cleaners and Rain-X. And PPE, so gloves and masks and safety glasses. Top shelf done. Okay, the bigger boxes next. We've got our spare parts. Fuel line, high tension leads, spark plugs galore, bearings, spare brake pads, distributor cap, fan belts, LED globes, some spare braided brake line. And here we've got more bearings, some shim steel, caliper, brake caliper seals, master cylinder seals. Again, all that stuff that we take that we hope we never need to use. And race lubes for when you just don't have, when you need lubes fast. Contact cleaner, love this stuff. Some engine oil just for top-ups, more degreaser, plenty of brake fluid, some WD-40, gas for soldering iron, bit of Teflon tape. In she goes. Okay, fasteners next. M8. If you need anything bigger than an M8, I want that request in writing with documented reasons why. No M7s. Hopefully we don't have to replace the 10 or so M7s that are actually on the car. M6, M5, M3, M4. Okay, next we've got some tape. Boring. Then all our electrical like crimps, relays, spare wire, fuses, heat shrink, all the electrical tools that we might need, wire strippers, crimpers, multimeter, pliers, solder. And the named race selection, just a whole bunch of useful bits and pieces, obviously lots of Loctite and sealants, pop rivets, split pins, hose clamps, circlips, springs. Alright, shelves packed, time for the toolbox. Always leave this to the last minute because I'm forever getting tools out of it and I don't want to have to keep walking to the car to get them, but that's the next thing to go in. Alright, quick tour of the toolbox. Got all the sockets, quarter, 3/4 and 1/2 inch. We've got Allen keys, T-bar Allen keys, screwdrivers, just texters, knife, ruler, magnet on a stick, feeler gauges, that sort of thing. Special spanners, ring spanners, more Allen keys, special bits, some nice little 1/4 inch drives, use them all the time. Lazy man tools, shifters and vice grips, special sockets for the gearbox, more special sockets, every ply you could possibly ever want, and all spanners. Okay, next thing is got a set of drawers that live in here, so the bracket that holds them bolts the toolbox and screws in the floor, so I've got to install that next. PVC. Okay, time for the drawers, or at least the outer shell for them. Okay, drawer number 1, or number 2, depends where you start from. So this has got sort of metalworking, files, hole saws, pop root gun, taps, drills, grinding discs, clamps, again all the stuff you hope you don't need. We're going to get drawer number 2. Drawer number 2, or number 1. The power tools, batteries, drills, drivers, angle grinder. In. When I designed this, I got the maximum depth I could, and then completely forgot about the handles. But by complete fluke, one handle fits underneath the cover of the tailgate, and one handle goes over the top of the tailgate, so it actually just clears. I hope. Those. Yeah, still clears. So the jack's the next thing to go in the back. There's been a bit of a rearrangement since the last rally. The jack used to live where the welder is, behind the back seats. But that was a pain in the ass, because every time we wanted to use the jack, which was at every service, you'd have to pull the back seats down, and there'd always be bags and shit on the back seats. They'd pull them out, put them on the ground, pull the back seats down, and drag the jack out. Well, I mean, Damo had to anyway. So I spent a fair bit of time rearranging everything so I could get the jack in the back here where it was easily accessible. The problem was, though, the jack's quite long. And installed in the car, it sticks out quite a way, but that's no problem because the tailgate still closes. How, you might ask? Well, like I said at the beginning, there is not much you can't fix with an angle grinder. So that's it. That's the main things in the car. Service vehicle is ready to rock and roll. I've got a few other bits and pieces to throw in, tarps and stuff, but that's all the main components that make up the service vehicle. Time for a beer. Now I'm going to walk around my empty workshop aimlessly looking for things that I've forgotten to put in the car. So there you go. Proof that stopping for a beer is a good thing. I nearly forgot the most important part of any rally service vehicle. The cable tie holder. Oh my god. I'll do those up in a minute. Geez, that was close. I better have another beer. You excited about the Pathfinder? Yeah.